Hi, welcome to the Gallagher Shots FPL show with me, Matt, otherwise known as Leafy Dragon _ FPL. It's my pleasure to recap what was game week 1. It's done. It was a blast. It was an absolute mega show, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. Loads of 100-point scores all over the place, so it's a fantastic start to this season. Obviously not the result we would have wanted as Newcastle fans, but from an FPL point of view, there was loads of scores, loads of returns for popular players. So let's take a little look. Now, I'm going to start off by giving out some shout-outs. I did promise if anybody captained a Newcastle United player, I'd have a little look, I would find you, and I would give you the shout-out you deserve because you are crazy. Now, it's a really rare occasion where if you've captained a Newcastle player, you have probably got some points because popular Newcastle players scored. Now, in any other week, you'd be happy with 6 points. But if you've captained a Newcastle United player over the likes of Salah or Bruno Fernandes, you're going to be looking in a bit of a sorry state, unfortunately. Now, I still think you deserve something. You deserve, I wish we had some I captained Newcastle United player T-shirts, but sadly we don't do that. And to be honest, we'd be all out of them by now. But if you bear with me, I've got a lovely long list of names of people who captained them. So you ready? I'm going to try and do this fairly quickly because we've only got a limited amount of time. So these guys captained Callum Wilson for his 6 points. We've got Tony Dakin, Jamie Atkinson, Krista Hafston-Thorseng, Jordan Nill, Tom Lynch, Michael Paliza, Matt Dalton, Lee Moffat, Connor Fleer, Jamie Elliott, Kos Selchuk, Andrew Pogue, Ivan Tosic, Toby Tilley, Jack Matthews, Simon Logan, Ryan Norman, Graham Bell, John Cunningham, Adam McBride, Mark Dalton, Ryan Layton, Peter Taylor, Rich Oliver, Alexander Fawn. Sorry if I butchered your name there, but that's a lot of names. Now, that was just Wilson. These guys captained St. Maximin's 6-pointer. Well done to you guys. Lee Atkinson, Joe Miller, Jordan Gregory, Paul Veal. I bet you were really happy when he scored. And, dear, what am I doing? And John Bainbridge. Well done to you guys. Now, sadly, these guys get a bit of a shout out as well. You captain Joe Willock, and it's a bit unfortunate this, but here we go. Rob Farquharson, who was the best name that I found in the league. You captained Willock. Sadly, no points. Your vice captain was Grealish. Really sad news on that one. 2 points. It could have been so much better. And Josh Banyard, you captained Willock as well and had Edison as your vice. So again, 2 points. Okay, times by 2 is obviously 4. So sad news for you guys, but there's plenty of time to bounce back. Now, keep your eyes peeled for Josh Banyard again. His name might crop up a little bit later. So, next thing, I want to shout out some people who had 3 Newcastle United players in their team. Now, that's the maximum you can have. And these guys are particularly amazing because they had 3 Newcastle United players and all 3 of them returned. So well done to Michael Dorey and Stephen Maxwell, who had all of Murphy, Wilson and St. Maximin in their team for a combined score of 19, which, again, not going to happen every week, but that's an extraordinary haul from Newcastle United players in Fantasy Premier League. So well done, guys. Okay, fantastic stuff. Now we're going to look at the league. Okay, so our leader after game week 1, see if he can stay here, is Matt Smith. He got 113 points this week, which, I don't know where that would put him overall, but it's going to put him pretty high up, and it's an absolute mad score for game week 1. So well done, Matt. Okay, I hope to be challenging you throughout the season. Let's see if you can stay there. Okay, stop watching my video so you don't get any more tips. Go away. I'm only joking. Now, he got 113 points pretty much because he had the double up of Salah and Bruno Fernandes. Okay, that was key this week, I think, to getting a really good score. He had Salah captain. He also had Benrahma, Antonio, he had Son, he had Ings. Pretty much anyone who scored decent amount of points he had in his team. So well done. Really good build-up of a team there. Okay. Now, sadly, the guy who's in the front running for the wooden spoon this season has started game week 1, bottom of the league, is Josh Banyard, my man, who didn't start with Salah or Fernandes. I looked at his team though, and it's actually a really good team. He's just been burned by owning players like Sancho, who only got 1 point. Now, his team looks really good going forward. So although I've given him a shout out for kind of a negative reason, I personally think he's going to creep up the league because he's got a strong looking squad. As long as he brings in Bruno Fernandes or Salah this week with his transfer. Okay, for me, you can't go without one of those two to start the season. It's just not right in my book, but there's more than one way to play the game, I suppose. Now, next thing I want to do, this brings me nicely onto something that Chris from Gallagher Shots messaged me with at the start before game week 1 happened. He messaged me his team. Hope he doesn't mind me saying this. And I noticed very quickly that he didn't have Mo Salah in his team. And I kindly pointed out to him that last season he scored a hat-trick and he burned a lot of people by not owning him in game week 1. And his reply was, not going to happen. Now, I noticed halfway through the game week when I looked at his team that he cheekily put Mo Salah back in his team, and I bet he's wishing that, I bet he's glad that he's listened to me because he got a canny little points haul. So you can thank me later, Chris, yeah? Okay. And also, I want to just highlight something that Jess, also from Gallagher Shots, said. I noticed on Twitter at the start of the game week, again, she typified the mood of Fantasy Premier League, where she said that, I can't really say it exactly, but F's sake, I regret everything. And I mean, that just says it all. I think we should have that like quoted along the bottom for Fantasy Premier League, because that just typifies everything about it. Nerves, stress, a little bit of joy, overthinking, everything really. And bless her, yeah, I think that was absolutely spot on. So thank you for that little bit of material, Jess. Now, I'm going to move swiftly on to this week coming. Now, I'm going to try and really be brief. My transfer this week is Benrahma in. He looked amazing against us, to obviously our detriment. He was getting really far forward, linking up really well with Antonio. If it was me, my top tip this week, which I'm going to try and do every week, is don't make a transfer. Now, I'm breaking that rule purely because I've got Ilkay Gundogan, who looks like he's going to be either touch and go or he's going to be on the bench because of a shoulder injury. Now, he has trained this week, but I don't like owning Man City players anyway because of Pep Roulette. He likes to rotate the team. And I don't really want to own a Man City player with injury. So he looks like he's going to drop in price as well. And Benrahma's already risen in price. So he's gone up 0.1. And Gundogan looks like he's going to drop 0.1 tonight. So something to really be wary of early season to try and build up your team value so that when you hit the wildcard button, you've got a lot more money in the bank to try and bring in those better players. Anyone who wants to keep tabs on that and wondering how I know this is going to happen, I try and use some price predictor tools like Fantasy Football Fix and FPL Statistics, which are really good free ways in order to check out when players are going to be rising in price, so you can catch them early and try and get those good players in because people are buying them. Okay, just a handy little tip there. So yeah, please don't use your free transfers if you've got them. If you've already used them, that's fine. But for me, it puts you in such a better position in game week 3 if you have 2 free transfers banked, so you can maneuver yourself a little bit better because of those price rises like I've already mentioned. And yeah, if you're looking at Newcastle United players, which is ultimately what we're all talking about and what we're all interested in, I would be looking at Joe Willock this week. I mean, he's going to be really up for it. I know Aston Villa are going to be tough opposition. There's going to be a reaction because of their loss to Watford. But Joe Willock's going to be on fire. He's going to want to try and score. And that's purely because he's 1 goal away from beating Shearer's record for consecutive games with a goal. So if he does that, he'll overtake Shearer with 8. And I think that's stood since 1996. So he's going to be right up for that challenge. And I can't wait to see if he does it. I hope he does. He's a great lad. Heard him on BBC Newcastle the other day, and he sounded absolutely tremendous, and he's exactly what we need. So yeah, my prediction, Joe Willock will score, and I hope to God that we actually win, because I mean, it's Villa, isn't it? But yeah, it's not going to be an easy game. So yeah, either go with, for me, Bruno Fernandes or Salah for captain this week. Whichever one you go for, it's a bit of a coin toss. the world that I live in FPL land on Twitter, we've actually got people posting comparisons in the rain for Salah. So I've seen that because Salah's got a better XG in the rain, he's got 0.1 more XG in the rain. People are bringing him in and people are going to captain him over Fernandes. It's crazy, right? But I've also heard other people saying they're going to captain Bruno Fernandes because he's not playing in the early kickoff, and the early kickoff is cursed. So, yeah, make of that what you will. Make your own informed decisions. Personally, I'm going to be going with Mo Salah captain because he's playing Burnley, he's playing in front of Anfield. That home advantage that we saw in game week 1 should be pretty strong again, especially with it being Anfield. So, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Please check me out on Twitter. Again, I'm at LeafyDragon_FPL. If you want to have a chat with me, please, by all means, ask me advice on your teams. And yeah, I'm going to be posting my team in there every week. I'll be having some discussions with people, trying to really talk up Newcastle players and posting some interesting stats if there are any. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Cheerio.